entrance to the cave, warning people to stay away. You really held your own today. I still don't know your name. Don't think I've seen you before. I'll remember the name. All right then. See you around. Hello, Lady Marionette.
I hear the rescue operation was a great success. I knew I could count on you. What brings you here, Odette? Here for a performance?
No, a Fatui mission. I happened to be nearby and heard the crash.
She hasn't introduced herself then. Odette is the prima ballerina of Snezhnograd. She's quite the celebrity. If you ever hear people mention the two crowning jewels of the Korailievsky troupe, they're talking about Odette and the prima donna, Vodianitsa. On top of that, Odette's also a rising Fatui star. It's looking likely she'll inherit the title of the Fair Lady. She learned all her combat skills from Rosaline herself. Used to be one of her most valued subordinates, too.
You flatter me, Lady Marionette.
If she's Rosaline's protégé, that makes me... Never mind. There's no need to bring it up. No point making things awkward.
How's progress on your end, Lady Marionette?
Equally successful. I finished reinforcing all the equipment. Took me a little longer without Polonia's help. But the outcome is the same, of course. Even if the heavy snowfall summoned by that monster lasts for another 3 months straight, this equipment won't give way. All right, now that we're done here, it's time to get out of this blizzard. Sure, but Snezhnograd will send someone to investigate and draw up a relief plan. And I guess I'll have to write the incident report myself this time, since it involves a mechanical malfunction. First, Pantalone needs to approve the budget, then Pulcinella has to sign off on the plan. Once they've argued it out and reached a compromise, we can move forward. That's the rough process anyway. Could take anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, depending on how smoothly it goes. Yup, nothing we can do about it. There's a whole stack of incident reports like this back at the office.
The snow has eased a little for now, but there's no telling when that will change with that monster still at large. Fuel for heating is in short supply, and relief is weeks away. There's no immediate threat to life, but still... It just feels like there should be a better way.
quit daydreaming. Let's get back to Snezhnograd. When did you get a new sword?
I found it in a cave. It handles pretty nicely.
You have a strange affinity for secondhand swords.
I sympathize. But rules are rules.
Oh, this is how it's always been done. Everyone's gotten by like this for years.
Well, if it isn't Counselor Tartaglia, Mr. Big Shot himself.
Go easy on me, all right? I'm still recovering from the interrogation the real Big Shots put me through. Hey, comrade, it's been too long. I heard you came looking for me earlier. Nicest surprise I've had in a while. Good to see you too, Odette. I'm guessing you guys just got back from Sviatlo Lajdovka. How'd it go? Crisis averted?
It went fine.
How about you? Any new developments?
Not really. Same as ever. Growing opposition to Project II-Geo, and the usual rebuttals are starting to ring hollow. The results of the mock vote were pretty dire. Pulcinella was fuming. I've never seen the old man so angry.
That's not good news. It takes a lot to rattle him.
Yeah, obviously if push comes to shove, there are ways to crack down on dissent. But...
Sorry, I have to ask something. This is going to sound blunt, but may I?
Huh? Of course, fire away.
It sounds to me like everyone's tearing their hair out trying to figure out how to deal with opposition to Project II-Geo. But what exactly is this project's purpose? And how can it be so important that even people like you two refuse to stand up for the ordinary people of Snezhnaya?
Interesting. I gotta hand it to you, comrade. You sure don't mince your words.
Excuse him? What does he mean, refuse to stand up for ordinary people?
Oh my gosh. How does he dare speak to the Harbingers like that?
Are you interrogating us now?
It's okay, Sandrone. Let me explain. I think I understand where he's coming from. If I could, I'd take your side right now. In fact, my position's very similar to yours. I've only held back on casting a dissenting vote in the Vecha because the Tsaritsa would never let me get away with it. Still, I have a responsibility to the Fatui armed forces, so I do what I can to make their voices heard. Most of them are just regular folks from small towns far from the capital. I'm sure you've seen how much those kinds of places are struggling right now. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm from Arepasak myself. Things aren't going so swell there either. The Tsaritsa wants to create a better, safer future for the people of Snezhnaya, but she's thinking long-term. I don't doubt that from where you're standing, Project II-Geo seems to be creating all sorts of issues for everyone. But considering the Tsaritsa's vision for the future, these are sacrifices worth making. Sounds cold, I know, but I promise it's not as black and white as it seems. Maybe Sandrone and I can't oppose Project II-Geo outright, but we're constantly raising our concerns in Vecha meetings. And even though we can't put an end to it, there are plenty of other ways to make a difference. We're trying everything we can think of, and so is Pulcinella. I respect Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, and trust her decisions. But at the end of the day, I'm still just a normal guy who cares deeply about my homeland. And my family, who all live here. There's no way I would ever abandon them.
As contentious as things can get within the Vecha, there's no selfishness or malice behind it. Everyone wants to get through this period as smoothly as possible. The issue is that there's no way of pleasing everyone under the present circumstances. Most of the time, we're trying to decide on the lesser of two evils, which obviously isn't a great look. But that is not the same thing as being blindly loyal to the Tsaritsa. No one's got their head in the sand here. We're all well aware of the way things are. We're just doing our best to make it work.
In fairness to Sandrone, she rushed to Svietlo Lidovka's aid the moment she heard that people were in danger. And even Tartaglia, who used to only care about the thrill of the fight, is clearly doing his best to rise to the demands of his new role as counselor.
Hey, come on. There's only so much we can say, so don't press us too hard. Look, I know how untenable the Tsaritsa's position looks if you don't understand her motives. Maybe you've heard already, but she's currently leading her army on a campaign to the east to defeat the monster that's been causing these brutal blizzards. Striking that monster down will be a significant step in dealing with the present energy crisis. As laser-focused as she is on realizing her lifelong ambitions, she's still putting time and energy into taking down this powerful monster. To me, that says a lot. If she thought Snezhnaya and its people didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, Why would she waste her time on something like this? Thanks. I meant every word I said, though. I wasn't just trying to placate you. I've already done more than enough diplomacy for one day.
I still think this adventurer raises a very important point. Our two harbingers have made their positions very clear. But there are many others in the Vetcha who must feel trapped and forced to vote against their conscience. I think it's a very valuable quality to be willing to speak one's mind, despite the risk of offending powerful figures.
You can say that again. I highly doubt we'd feel the need to explain ourselves so much if we didn't know you so well.
Forgive me, adventurer, but might I be so bold as to ask about your background? How is it that you can converse so openly with two harbingers?
Oh, haven't you been properly introduced?
Easier said than done. I like to think I'm not the kind of person who goes around busting open people's old wounds.
I've only learned his name so far, and no details of his experiences. Is something wrong?
Uh-oh. Is there no avoiding the subject of Rosaline?